guys, I hope you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha and I welcome you to my channel. I really appreciate all the love and support that you guys have been sending my way. I'm so grateful that you guys are actually enjoying my videos and the fact that you're learning from them and that you're gaining from it. That really is the whole point of this. I've been actually thinking about a lot of different things that I've been doing, and I had a certain person, a friend of mine, message me recently saying, how impressed she was with me. First of all, whenever people say that they're impressed with me, I really start getting this bad feeling in my stomach and my heart, thinking, why would they be impressed by me? There's nothing that I'm doing that anyone else on the planet, everyone else on the planet cannot do. I am a nobody. I'm literally the person who is not an expert, who doesn't know anything, who's just doing things by fluke, and she's just ending up doing all these things because she loves to learn. I love to learn. That's the only way I've been able to do all the different things I do, because I learn and then I do them. So there's nothing special about it, nothing special at all. Really, I'm not even joking. And so I don't understand why when people say, oh, I'm so impressed by you, I'm like, you don't need to be impressed by me. All I do is get up every day and do the work. That's all. I mean, I do it without thinking about it. I do it without analyzing it. I do it without overthinking. I do it without doubting myself, because I'm like, just let's just do it, man. I've been doubting myself for so long. I've spent so much of my life being an idiot and not doing the work that I'm like, okay, it's time. I am 35. I'm 35 now. I just turned 35. And I'm like, I'm 35 now. Okay, that's enough nonsense for one lifetime. Okay, one lifetime, enough nonsense. Let's do the work now. Because who knows, I might be dead at 40, or I might be dead tomorrow, right? And so I've done a video on this where like INFJs are obsessed with death. And I say this all the time. I might be dead tomorrow. And I say it very casually. And people are like, oh my God, you shouldn't say that. And I'm like, oh, why? They're like, what if you bring it upon yourself? And I think to myself, really? So you can just bring death by talking about it? I don't know about that. But the real reason I'm doing this video, is that I really want you guys to realize that the only thing that you have to do is do the work. It's so easy to say, but the only thing you have to do in this moment in time, right now, the time is now, and the work is now as well. The only thing you have to do is do the work. You don't have to worry about anything else. Now, as human beings, obviously what we do is we worry about everything under the sun. I mean, everything. What if the government changes and the business that I'm starting fails because the government changes the rules? That's one of the thoughts that I had when I was starting this new business. I'm selling bags now on my bohemia.co, and these beautiful Thai bags. And in my head, when I first started thinking about it, I'm like, oh my God, what if I start selling these bags, and I'm shipping the bags from Thailand to Canada, and I'm paying import taxes, and what if the government changes rules and Thailand and Canada fight, and then I can't import these bags anymore, blah, blah, blah. Oh my God. So if I wanted to really go into that thought process and really think about it, it was very easy for me. I'm an overthinker. I'm an INFJ. I can do that imagination overthinking forever. I mean, I could think about the fact that, oh, what if there's an apocalypse and my business is not useful anymore? I'm not going to make any money from it. What's the point of starting that now, right? And so I could literally think myself to death and think myself into a point where I would start nothing, because there might be an apocalypse tomorrow. There might be World War III tomorrow. US and China might start fighting with each other. There might be nuclear weapons being used and the whole world is destroyed and blah, blah, blah. So why bother starting anything right now? Why, right? And so yes, you could kind of go into that thought process. You could think about all that stuff. You could use that in order to keep yourself from doing your work. It's very easy. I mean, there's a lot of scenarios out there. A lot of my imagination plays havoc, and I'm thinking all of these different things. What if there's a nuclear disaster? What if Russia is building this genetic weapon and it changes everyone's genetic makeup so that no one has a brain anymore? Or there's so many different ways to kind of look at it. I'm a writer. I can make up shit, right? But the main point of this video and my message to you is the only time is now. Right now, this moment in time is the only time you have. You don't need to worry about tomorrow. You don't even need to worry about the next hour. You don't need to worry about, it's like if it's 9 a.m., you don't need to worry about 10 a.m. You don't need to worry about 11 a.m. You don't need to worry about midnight. You don't need to worry about tomorrow. You don't need to worry about anything except right now. The only work that you need to worry about is right now. So you do the work. And so this girl messaged me saying, I'm so impressed by you. You always think about an idea and you just do it. You don't think about it, you just do it. I thought about the idea of creating that website and selling bags. I was like, Okay, cool, let's do it. Let's sell it. Let's see how it works. And I've said this before, when you launch, you learn. When you do the idea, when you create it, when you launch it, that's when you learn. You don't learn before that. You can make up all these stories in your head of how it's going to work and how your stuff is going to sell and what you're going to do and what this future is going to look like. But all of it is made up scenarios in your head. None of it is real. None of it is real, guys. It's all made up. You can pretend like you're predicting the future, and perhaps you are predicting the future in a minor way. But I could predict like I'm going to sell 1,000 bags by the end of this year. I could predict that. But the reality of it is that when I launched the website, I realized how hard it is to sell the bags, and at the same time, how easy it is to market yourself and all that stuff. So there's a lot of learning that comes from launching, from actually doing the work. The same thing with writing. I read all these amazing writers, and I think to myself sometimes when I read something, I'm like, oh my God, I could write that. It's not that hard. And then I actually sit down to write it, and oh my God, it's hard, right? Sometimes I'll have an idea in my head, and I'll kind of pretend like I'll follow the idea through, and I'll dream about it. And it's so beautiful in my head. I mean, it's gorgeous. It's the idea that would change the world, right? It would be a book that would just be life-changing. And I actually sit down to write it, and I think to myself, why isn't it coming out the way it's in my head? When you launch, you learn. When you do the work, that's when you learn. Because it sounds very glorified and beautiful in your head, the idea is very beautiful and perfect in your head. And then actually you put it down, you try to put it down onto paper, and it sucks. I mean, it doesn't suck completely. It still has a little bit of the essence of it, but it's not the perfection that you imagine in your head. Same thing with my website, with my bag website, mybohemia.co. The same thing with it. I tried to make it, I had all these ideas in my head. Oh my God, this is going to be the case, and this is going to happen here, and it's going to move around, and it's going to fly, and it's going to do all these things, right? And then I actually build it, and it's so much harder to build it. And also, all the different things that I imagined that I wanted to put in there only slowed it down. So I had to remove a lot of the shit. So it was actually like I had to really, really be careful about that kind of stuff, right? So it's really interesting. When you actually do the work is when you actually learn, right? Until that point, all of these castles that you're building in the air, which are fine, that's where they're supposed to be. That's what the quote says. But you have to build a foundation underneath the castles, right, that are in the air. And where does the foundation come from? It comes from freaking doing the work. Doing the work right now, in this time, in this moment, not in your head, not predicting what's going to happen in the future, not making up stories about what's going to happen in the future, not making up things or like the scenarios or all these disaster things that are going to happen in the future. All of that is useless, nonsensical, time-wasting distractions, right? It's just a nonsense use of your time. Because what are you doing with that? You're just distracting yourself from the work, and you're distracting yourself from the present moment. All you need to do, easy to say, not easy to do, all you need to do is sit down and do the work. Now, it would be really easy for me to be like, I'm just going to think about doing all these videos. I'm going to dream about them. I'm going to have all these ideas in my head. I'm going to pretend like I'm doing them in my head. And a lot of times when I get ideas, I'll be sleeping at night and I'll be like, oh my God, this is a brilliant idea. All of a sudden I'll get up and I'll have this brilliant idea for a video and I'll write it down. And I'll think about it while I'm sleeping. I'm like, this is what I'm going to say. This is how it's going to be. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be awesome. It's going to flow, right? And then I actually do the video when I wake up in the morning. And it doesn't flow as well as I imagine in my head. It's not absolute crap. It's sometimes good, sometimes bad. But it's not like how it was in my head. My head, it was like beautiful. I was a maestro. I was kind of like a conductor, beautifully conducting this video. And when I actually do it, I'm absolute crap at it. I'm just normal. I'm a human being, right? Which is fine. But that's how you learn. You do the work and you do the work and do the work in the present moment. And that's how you learn. That's what you need to do. Now, a lot of us, what we do is that we just pretend like we're doing the work in our head. We'll think about it. We'll journal about it. We'll go to workshops about it. We'll try to heal ourselves of it. We'll try to talk to people about it. We'll get advice from people. All of this is such a waste of time. I've done this in the past. I'm not saying that I did not do this in the past. I used to do this all the time. I would go to workshops all the time. I traveled all over the world for workshops. I wasted so much freaking money on it. It was not even funny. Then I'd do all these stupid coaching sessions with people where I didn't actually do the work. I just talked about doing the damn work. Useless again. And then I would just roam around asking people for advice. All these people who had never done anything like that, I would ask them for advice. I'd go and ask people who had never written a single word in their life or a single novel in their life or even a blog post, and I'd ask them about advice on my writing. I think to myself, what am I doing? Am I insane? Or I'd ask people about building an online business that they'd never even done anything online. Stupid, right? Again, all of this is just a waste of your time, because you're doing that. You're wasting your time, but you're doing it because you're afraid. And I get it. I am afraid all the time. When I started this new business as well, I was afraid. It's not like I wasn't afraid. I knew that I was an idiot. And I'm like, I don't know anything. What am I doing? Why am I wasting my money? Why am I wasting my time? Why am I doing this? Why am I bringing more stress and tension into my life? Why? Because it's interesting. Because it's fun. Because it satisfies my curiosity. Because now I have no regrets. I've started it. I've done it. I have no regret about it. I don't have to think about, oh, what if I'd done it and if it would be this way and that way. No, I did it. I'm trying it out. It's amazing, and no regrets, right? With everything else that I do, these comedy skits, no regrets. Once I do them, I won't have this thing inside of me saying, oh, what if I had done it and it would be this way? Or what if I had done it and it would be that way? I don't have any dreams or desires, because I just take action on them, right? And that's what I want you guys to do. Do the work right now in this moment, right now. Whatever you're thinking about doing, just do it. Just start it. Just do something about it, okay? Again, I hope this makes sense to you guys. I just really, really, really wanted to share this with you guys. I hope that you can use it in your own life in order to start or work on a project that you're working on. If you guys have any questions at all, please message me anytime. All my contact information is in the description below. My email, my Facebook. I don't go on Instagram that often, so please message me by email or Facebook, okay? Again, thank you so much, and I shall see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.